Hello guys, Termex here, and welcome back to another New World video. Today I do want to talk about the PTR patch notes that got released. Now, a little disclaimer, these are not final. This is just the opening PTR notes. These are subject to change in the future when they actually release. But the first thing I do want to get into is for you dexterity players. I'm going to be mainly covering you guys in today's video. I'm not going to bring up all the other weapons because my content is mainly focused on dexterity based stuff. So, the first thing I do want to bring up when we go over into the weapons, we have the bow. Now, they said they fixed an issue that caused incorrect arrow projectile sizes when using the passive bow perk called arrow range. Now, if you don't know, arrow range is the perk in the bow tree that basically makes it so that the damage fall off is not affected by gravity for twice the distance, which is pretty cool. But I guess I want to call it a bug to where if you had this spec, your arrows had a bigger hitbox. So if you're wondering how bow players were hitting you, even though they shouldn't have hit you, there's your answer. The arrows were accidentally too big. Good job. Good to know. And it looks like they're going to be lowering the hitbox from 0.33 to 0.15, so it's going to benefit the more skilled bow players and the people that are used to the old bow. If you never played bow with arrow range, you don't really have to worry about this change too much. If you've been playing with arrow range ever since you picked up the bow, you're going to notice a difference in your shot consistency. They also updated evade shot projectiles to work correctly with the passive arrow range with the radius of 0.33, so it looks like evade shot will keep the arrow range size. I guess that's what that means. Maybe I'm stupid, but it sounds like evade shot will still have that 0.33 arrow radius. They also said that they updated the explosive arrow projectile size to have a radius of 0.33, which is all the way up from 0.05. So that's going to make the arrow and the overall boom boom arrow, I like to call it the boom boom arrow, be a lot easier to hit. So if you don't use boom boom arrow because you think it sucks because you can't hit anything, maybe try it out after the PTR. It looks like it will be 3 times as likely to hit as it did before. My math's probably off on that one. Other than that, they did increase recovery prior to the dodge cancel window after the final shot of the bow's rapid shot. If you don't know rapid shot is you do these 3 arrows right here and then you're done. But they're saying that the dodge cancel window was previously too short after the shot, allowing players to easily bypass the final shot's recovery as well as exit the action prior to the arrow hitting a target. This basically means when people were doing this is how they were using rapid shot. Just like that, and they would dodge out of it because you're allowed to spam your dodge and move a lot quicker. But it's going to feel more like this, and I'll put them side by side. I'm just going to simulate what I think it's going to feel like in terms of dodging. I think it's going to look like that after the PTR. I could be wrong, but overall, it looks like a buff to the bow's hit consistency for those players that are already skilled with it. Explo arrow gets a nice little buff, but it is a nerf to rapid shot and its mobility. Now for musket, they fix an issue where impact effects on the musket may play even if the shot is missed. I never personally had that problem. They allow the player to move while throwing sticky bombs, so that means when they whip out a sticky bomb, they're going to be able to move at normal speed. I'm very curious to see how they do that one. They removed the stagger from sticky bomb to compensate for this increased usability, which is great, I guess, because, I mean, sticky bomb stagger wasn't that big of a deal for me, but I guess it is good to remove that stagger from it. Now, they also allowed loading of both power shots and powder burn while moving, so that's a pretty insane change. That means you could load up powder burn and power shot while you're moving. I wonder if you could do it while dodging. I doubt it. It's probably going to be kind of like a full sprint while reloading thing. I guess we'll have to see with the PTR. They also updated the passive to no longer remove damage fall off entirely, but reduce the damage fall off by 50% after 50 meters. If you don't know what that means, they do have a thing here called ballistic advantage. There you go. This removes damage fall off from anything with the musket. So this is where the people that camp on rocks and OPR 2-tap you in the head if you're wearing light armor because they don't have damage fall off, but now they do get damage fall off, which I think was needed from the beginning, to be quite honest with you. But I also see this as a mild nerf in a weird way, not only for the rocks, but it's going to force musket players to play within 50 meters, to where I think within that 50-meter radius, you're going to have to compete with bow players with a lot more movability. You're going to have to compete with fire staff at that point, which could just, charge headfirst into you with burnout. So I'm curious to see how this changes the musket meta and if it bit nerfed the musket with this perk, but I feel like it was needed. OPR is so boring with people that just hit you for 5k damage on a rock. But they also adjusted the hit your mark passive to where you just have to hit them and it's not just headshots or crits, and you do more damage the farther you are away, giving you 15% more damage. Now, I don't know if that 15% is going to negate the brand new ballistic advantage, because that would just mean it's a 35% nerf and not a 50% nerf, but again, we will have to see when the PTR releases. Now, for the only change with spear, they made it so movement speed is not completely halted when tossing the spear's javelin. So I imagine you're going to keep moving while you're tossing it and not just stand still. I think that's a great change, actually. I don't see a lot of people run javelin unless it's for those fun CC builds, but I do think this will add a nice little kick with a lot of spear mobility, because sometimes the spear does feel a little clunky in that aspect. Additionally, they made it so that tapping the ability button while aiming would throw the javelin instead of sheathing it. I personally don't like that change, because I always love pulling out my javelin and pretending I'm throwing it to get somebody to waste a dodge, but maybe it'll be a lot harder to do that now because it would just throw it when you click Q again. I'm a little iffy on that change. Me personally, I think it's fine the way it is, and I like the ability to fake out a javelin throw, but that's just me. It doesn't look like they did anything in terms of the rapier, which is good. I think they've done enough to ruin that. I'm joking. I think they made the skill gap on rapier a whole lot better for those players that know how to use it. But other than that, if you guys are interested, they had some bug fixes with a bunch of sounds. Expedition AI got improved. Invasions, they fixed to where multiple void destroyers could overlap each other, which is stupid. They also removed the infused endurance potions from the armory and outpost rush. PvP arenas, they fixed an issue where you'd be stuck in there. A bunch of other cool stuff. They also changed dodge. They fixed an issue where rapidly canceling a light attack while rolling multiple times would cause your stamina to enter the exhausted state. If you don't know about this, it is when people kind of faked you out with a greatsword light attack and then they blocked, they would just drain their stam for no reason. This happened with a lot of melee weapons, but most notably the greatsword. So yeah, good thing they fixed that early on. But for the last big thing I want to talk about is Shirking Fortification actually got a nerf. They adjusted an issue where the base duration was actually the max duration of Shirking Fortification. It was set to the same value apparently, and the base value was meant to be lower. So Shirking Fortification will only proc for 4 seconds now as opposed to 6 seconds. Everyone's gonna be like, oh my god, Shirking Fortification sucks, it's not meta anymore. You gotta remember, you're gonna generate enough stamina within 4 seconds to dodge again to proc another stack of Shirking Fortification. Unless they put this down to 2 seconds, 4 seconds is completely fine for Shirking Fortification. 6 seconds was a little much. It made it so you were pretty tanky for a long time. But I think 4 seconds will not change a lot whatsoever, because you can get stam back rather quickly. 4 seconds isn't a great spot. Any lower, then I think we're going to run into some issues. They also fixed where certain things like chain perks, attunements, jagged, keenly jagged, stuff like that, we're not proccing your heart gem charge, so good thing they fixed that. If you don't know what the heart gem is, it's your ultimate ability thing, you know, like the stone form, the detonate, it fixes that. Now it will charge off of those. But that's really it, guys. I mainly wanted to cover Dex things, but I also threw in some important stuff that you guys would want to know from a normal patch notes type of video. This is my first time doing a patch notes video like this, so if you want to see more, please let me know. I do only traditionally cover things that have to do with dexterity and light armor and all that, because that's what my content centers around. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed today's video, it would mean a lot if you hit the like button down below. It does spread my content more out to people in the New World community, and you know, it just gets my name out there. And make sure to subscribe so you never miss out on another video from me. But you have a terrific day, good luck in a tournament, stay safe, and I'll see you guys later.